Good morning and welcome to Wimbledon Spiritualist Church and our Divine Service. Our this morning's medium is our son, Ashley Robinson. He will be giving the address and be doing the prayers, and we will be doing a prayer together, an affirmation prayer, the Serenity Prayer, which Richard will be putting up, and I would ask you all, who's possible, to read it and say it, because that hopefully give you some strength to face what's coming up in the next few weeks of our lives. I extend a warm welcome, as I say to you all, and looking forward to hopefully next week we'll be able to have people back here physically in the church as well as virtually. So I would now ask Ashley to lead our meeting with prayer.
Hello folks, and good morning. Please join me as we open in prayer. As we sit together, let us lay aside the week, the day, and test and unite in prayer. We seek the peace and love of Mother, Father God upon what we are about to do of this divine service. Divine presence, we seek you to guide us during this service. Bring forward our friends, our loved ones, our guides, and inspirers. We are looking for hope and comfort, attempting to contact our loved ones in heaven, to show that life continues beyond that change we call death. We ask your blessing upon this church and our remote congregation, all those who have gathered, both seen and unseen. So mote it me. Amen.
Well, friends, we continue our healing prayers for healing of mind, body and spirit. And Jackie and I are being rather selfish today, in a way, asking you especially to pray for our Rachel, our daughter. She's now 20 weeks pregnant, but she was taken into hospital last night with blood pressure problems, and she's still waiting to see a doctor this morning. She saw doctors last night. I'm pleased to be able to say they found the heartbeat, and the heartbeat was nice and how it should be, but the BP keeps fluctuating up and down. So I'm asking for healing this morning for Rachel and Sean, Kelly and Stephen, Jackie, Bale, Robert, Nicola, Sophie and Amber. Into thy hands, O Lord, we commend thy souls and thy spirits for healing of mind, body and spirit. Let us now enter in to a few moments of healing silence. Great Architect of the universe, we ask a blessing upon all those names we have prayed for this morning. But we also ask healing and strength and prayer for those who administer healing, be it doctors, nurses, healers, therapists, healers all. May they be guided in their work. We ask this prayer in thy name through Great Architect of the universe, for we know thy will shall always be done. Amen. Now, can we say the Serenity Prayer? God grant me the serenity to accept things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Hopefully those words will help you all through the coming weeks and strengthen you of mind, body and spirit. And please try not to be discouraged what is going on in your lives, and try to have the confidence and faith to face each challenge that you have to face with strength and vitality. There's a saying that if God is on our side, nobody can attack us. And that is very true. So be positive with your outlook. Yes, we're going to get days that we're down and upset and feeling blue, but we place ourselves in the hands of God. And in my early days of spiritualism, a very ancient lady here, Mari Jackson, who I called the elder statesman, always said, give it back to God. And we must hand our worries and anxieties back to God, the source of our being. So thank you. Can I ask anyone who wishes to donate to the church through PayPal? If you can do that, please. It is www.paypal.com/LAD Promotions. Ashley will say that again in a moment. and we're asked to do that as well. So let's say a few names on the screen.
Hello, folks. Good morning and welcome again. I'm going to say a few hellos. I know that June Nalkin is joining us. She says amen. Mary Dixie, good morning to you. And anyone else that's joining us. If you can give us the thumbs up on this YouTube channel, that would be very much appreciated. And do remember to subscribe to Spiritual Psychics TV. You can also follow us at the Facebook page, SPTV fan page, as well as on Twitter and Instagram. The other thing you can do to help us build a community is to share this stream. So look for the forward arrow. You can then copy the URL, the uniform resource link to this direct stream. You can share that on Facebook and just copy and paste it into Facebook on your wall. That will let people know that you're watching this right now. You can share that with your WhatsApp groups and Twitter. Take a screenshot of what you're watching, stick it on Instagram, and tag Spiritual Psychics TV or LAD Promotions with that. All helps us build the community. But I'll just do a couple of other hellos and welcomes. So Leslie Knight and Phil Shaw, I just saw you there. Good morning to you. Christine Lacey says she's shared and liked. Thank you, Christine. That's very much appreciated. Bernadine Curtis from Portsmouth. She says, all done for you and joined. She's the boss, according to her Facebook profile photo. I feel like I'm the boss with my kids until they start talking. Tracy Honey says, hi. Hi, Tracy. Terry Wall says she's shared and liked. Thank you very much, Terry. Stace Shaw, big fan of Spiritual Psychics TV in great support. Thanks, Stace. That's very much appreciated. Rose Anderson, the Reverend Rose Anderson, the Queen of Cards. Lovely that you've joined us today. Cheryl Boxall says, where's your sunglasses, Ash? Yeah. No sunglasses today. I've got the spotlights to look forward to. Shelley Hall, good morning to you. Welcome. And Rose again. Thank you, Rosie. And thank you to all of you that have joined us today as part of the virtual congregation, as part of this community. I know that when I participate on the live chat, Bernie Ty says, beautiful community. Thank you, Benny, rather than Bernie. And we love the fact that people do catch up and chat and catch up with each other on the chat group as well. There's some brilliant chat and conversations that also takes place on the Spiritual Psychic TV Facebook page. Rose Anderson says she's got no picture. I think, Rosie, what you need to do is part of your YouTube profile, you need to add a photograph to that. Kim Fandana, good morning to you, and good morning, Tracy. And if you're not able to participate in the chat, it probably means that you've not yet logged into YouTube. So create a YouTube account or use your Google account if you already have one. Log into YouTube, look for the live chat function, and then you can participate and engage in this conversation. Okay, the website which came up for you, that was in order to donate towards the church. We're missing the congregation for a number of reasons at the moment, but if you are able to donate, it would be very much appreciated. You don't actually need a PayPal account, but you can go to paypal.com/paypalme/LAD prompts. That stands for Life After Death Promotions. But paypal.com/paypalme/LAD prompts. Anything you can donate towards the upkeep of the church would be very much appreciated. Hopefully you're benefiting from an upgrade to the microphones and the sound system we've put in to try and get the streaming as good as we can, and also looking forward to welcoming congregation soon. Michelle, good morning to you too. Michelle Joyett Hull, lovely to have you joining the service. And we'll just do one or two more hellos and then we'll move to the next part of the service. Okay, I can't see any more coming up, but say a very warm welcome to all of you. Lovely to have you with us. Thank you. Dad?
Well, friends, I've got a reading this morning from the Philosophy of Silverbirch. It's a wonderful book, and it's some of the books I first read when I came into Spiritism 51 years ago. No matter how strong the opposition, how seemingly great the obstacles or difficulties, no effort for good that is ever made will be lost. Ultimately, the fight in which you are engaged in must be won, because in the end, truth will triumph. It is not an easy path which you tread, but pioneers and doubtless souls do this. Please do not expect a bed of roses or imagine that you will become so blessed by the light. The greater challenge for your soul and the greater task is yet to happen, but God and the spirit world will give you the strength and the protection. So mote it be. Well, friends, we're now going to have the address from Ashley Robinson, and I'll hand you back to Ashley.
Hello, folks. I see that Christine Woodham, one of my circle leaders, has just joined us from Spain. Lovely to have you with us too, Christine. Okay, some strange cracking. Hopefully you're not receiving that feedback. You're getting that as well. Okay, it's gone. Spirit saying hello, perhaps via the amplifier. So, folks, as I welcome you to this service, and I think about the reading, I think about these times, and I've often said, in fact, a few times, that these are strange times. And it was a friend of mine, Birgitta Visser, who you'll all know quite well, recently challenged me on that. She said, well, why are they strange? Are they not also exciting? And I know that when I gave an address just before lockdown, about a month ago, I spoke about the opportunities. And I've been very interested over the last couple of weeks about all things spiritual. I've been doing research for my show. I've been researching about the different bits and pieces which build up my own sort of spiritual philosophy. And the thing that keeps going back to the moment, if you like, is this very moment. Now, my mum always loved quoting the phrase to me about the reason that we call current time present time is that it is truly a gift. It is a gift. Now, we get to live this life once, so we must live it. We must live it as well as we can. We must bring our true and authentic self to that gift that is life as much as we possibly can. And we must do that in pursuit of happiness, in pursuit of experiencing everything. Because everything that we are experiencing, we will be able to look back at some point. When we go through that change we call death, when there is life after life, I do believe we'll look back at this life. We won't necessarily look back at all of our lives. And the reason we have no memory of past lives, if we've had those opportunities of incarnation, is because of the focus on this life right now. Now, I've spoke about that journey. I've spoke about the journey of going forwards, onwards, upwards, experiencing things in pursuit of happiness. I've spoke about the fact that in that rucksack of life, we should have everything we need to overcome, adapt, divert any obstacle, any barrier which comes out in our way. Assuming that our life is mapped out for us, let's call it a destiny map, assuming we are pointing in a direction, there is nothing to say that we must follow the charted route, because as soon as we incarnate in this body and we start to experience things, people, memories, it's all about the now, and it's all about the things that we are going through. So it's difficult in these times, these strange times, to understand why we are going through the experiences we have. But if we think about that serenity prayer, if we think about the opportunities that are in front of us, our free will means that we can control our behavior, and our attitude affects our behavior in the same way that it affects the attitude and behavior of the people around us. So, recognizing that we cannot adjust someone's behavior, recognizing that we can influence their attitude through our behavior, which is inspired by our attitude. It's about having the courage to go through what we're going through now. And as I think it was Winston Churchill, but certainly John Wayne as well, when going through hell, don't stop. Keep going, get through it, get to the end of that experience, look back, see the progress that you've made, and see where you're next going to go, the next opportunity. In terms of controlling our reaction to the situations, this is where we need to dig deep. And I know that over the last probably, where are we now? We're approaching December, aren't we? Probably the last 9 to 10 months, I have found myself digging deep. I recognize my own inspiration and my inspirers more than I've ever done before. I understand my instinct and my intuition, that gut instinct, the intuition that comes from my mind. And as I look to thread all of those things together with my mind's eye, all of my senses, I recognize the fact that I am looking for constant inspiration. I am listening more for my guides, plural, recognizing that I have a guide for mediumship, a guide for healing, and guides for everything else, as well as my principal guide. What I'm saying to that committee of people is, any advice, any steer for me? And I'm taking the time to listen, recognizing that this experience, this moment, I want to bring my full, true, and authentic self to it. And I want to be at my best. And in order to be at my best, I need to see where I can make the most impact. Where can I add the most value? And as a spiritualist, value often comes in the form of service. The way that I show and demonstrate unconditional love is through service, by doing things out of love and service to others without conditions. But that love also needs to start with me, recognizing me where I am physically, where I am mentally, bringing the two together. And as I listen to my inspirers and guides, I need to ask the right questions. Not just what to do, but perhaps how should I behave? How could I behave? What must I do? The difference between the coulds, shoulds, woulds, and musts have been very evident in all the recent guidance from the government in the way that we must continue to live our life. But these are questions around my affirmations that I can ask my guides and my inspirers. Going to bed every night and in my final moments before sleep, thanking for the opportunities I've had, thanking for the fact that I am safe, I'm well fed, I have a roof over my house, marking those things and those achievements as something I'm grateful for every night has delicately and subtly started to change the way I sleep and the way I begin the next day. And friends, that's what I continue to encourage you to do. I know that through these sometimes strange, difficult, and dare I say dark times, there is also lots of beautiful light, beautiful, wonderful people that along our journey have found themselves at the same crossing as us, all on our own journey, all with our own destination. But we meet in this community, we meet virtually today, and what wonderful love and friendships, relationships starting to blossom as a result of that. Seeing those opportunities to actually listen to someone when we ask them how they are, listening to the answer and then tailoring our response in accordance. What a wonderful thing that I've continued to see happen, not just in this community, but elsewhere. Recognizing the opportunities to be at home and to be safe. Sometimes there is that feeling of loneliness. I very rarely feel low with two little boys with constant energy, and I'm lucky enough to be at home with my wife. But that sense of social interaction. And for people that know me, I am an extrovert. I get my energy from other people. And I'm trying to find a way of continue to activating my introverted side, where I get my energy from myself, but perhaps that is influenced and inspired by the energy of others. And what a wonderful gift of technology, the fact we can communicate today on YouTube, that we can continue to stream this service. And I know from the numbers of people that have been viewing this YouTube feed that we're having certainly as many people as we would have seen in the church before this pandemic. In fact, we're often seeing huge, bigger numbers than we've ever seen at the church on a Sunday morning service. And I feel that as a gift. The opportunity to work with Richard James and Spiritual Psychics TV again has been an incredible opportunity, and it's been a great step. At times, no doubt my mum and dad feel like they've been catapulted into the future of technology and devices and having to get to grips with new logins and accounts. And I know that amongst our own community, people that only really use their phone for making calls now look at them on Zoom and YouTube and Skype and Facebook, communicating, engaging, sharing their knowledge of life after death, sharing the truths of spiritualism. What an amazing thing to take our spiritualism and take it out to people, to connect with people. So friends, focus on you. Heads up, chin up. You've got this. Onwards, upwards, forwards. If you're in doubt, just look behind you and see how far you've already traveled. It's all in the right direction. You must feel empowered. You have the free will and the opportunities to control your reaction to any situation the universe will throw your way. You'll have the courage, and you'll continue to ask for the courage to overcome and adapt. At times, evade. At times, face it head on. Together, we are stronger. Use this community. Take my love and that of the spirit world. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Ashley. Thank you very much indeed. Very proud of you, son. Very proud indeed. Well, friends, we're now going to come to the part of the service where Ashley will demonstrate the gifts of the Spirit. If Ashley should think you're, start again. If Ashley is with you, please answer clearly yes or no on the screen. Ashley will go into a bit more depth with that at the moment. And it's important that when you're saying yes to something, so if Ashley says, I've got your dad here and he's called Harry, it's you saying yes to Harry and not just saying yes. So we have a better idea. And more importantly, those out in virtual world, in the virtual church, also see what's going on and happy. So we've had a great morning so far. I'll now hand you over to Ashley, who will demonstrate the gifts of the Spirit. Please be responsive and clear. And remember, at all times, we are not alone. Thank you.
Hello friends, I'm back again. Thank you for the lovely feedback there for the address, very much appreciated. So no doubt most of you have seen me work before. My opportunity is to bring through a communicator, a loved one, someone you would understand. Their personality is very much what I believe continues to live after that change their body goes through called death. So I'll be looking for the communicator to give you evidence of who they are. And once you understand who that communicator is, please verify that using the live chat function. And I should be able to see that come up. Richard will put those comments up for me. Once I know who I'm with, I'll be able to encourage them to give a message. Okay, let's see who we've got. Reggie. Reggie. I'm just getting this sounding noise. It's not a dog coming through, but it's Reggie, Renaud. That is the name I'm hearing. I've got a man here. This man claims to be family. He said, I've got family watching. I am a father, and now I am a grandfather and great-grandfather. My time in spirit, I've become a grandfather. No, I was a grandfather. I've expanded that, and I now have grandchildren and a great-granddaughter quite recently, this spring, summer. I've had a new addition to the family. So I'm looking for someone that would understand this man in the spirit world, family, that's passed with a cancerous type condition. He has taken me to his upper body and his torso. He was giving me that letter R as being quite significant for him, but he was talking about connecting. I feel like I'm connecting with a lady, perhaps my daughter, or perhaps also my granddaughter, but I've got great-grandchildren. Strong feminine energies talking about this great-granddaughter who has just come this spring, summer. Spain. I'm also hearing Spain. Now, I know I was mentioning about Rajmund. So that's Lenka, isn't it? Hotifemi. Okay, Lenka. So you got a grandfather died of cancer in his stomach, and you'd understand that letter R. Okay. Yeah, I know her. Okay, Lenka. So as I link in with you, he is sigh. He is frustrated. No, you're frustrated. Oh, says, okay, he understands that. He's talking about you going through a sense of frustration at the moment, Lenka, and he wants to give you that encouragement. As he was listening to the address, and I very much imagine in that place I call heaven, like a waiting room with my guide, Bob, that sort of sorts someone out and gets them ready to give their messages. He was talking about communicating. Just now and listening to the address, and he was talking about the opportunities for you. He feels that the seeds have been planted, Lenka. He says to me, seeds have been planted, and I'm frustrated because despite the amount of water and the love and the nurturing you've done for these seeds, and these aren't physical seeds in terms of plants, Lenka. He's talking about, oh, that's nice, hopes and dreams. Hopes and dreams. He says, you've done everything on your side. But he's talking about the fact that it's almost as if in the same way you now require the next element, the sun, to help the seeds. He's talking about the fact that you've missed out on that opportunity at the moment. Okay, you're saying yes. Thank you, Lenka. So he's talking about that, and he says your hopes and dreams are still there. They are not lost, right? Leslie Knight says you can understand it all as well. Will you stand by Lenka? Dad, great-grandfather, new baby in June. Okay. Lenka, you hold to one side. I'm with Lenka at the moment. Leslie, though, I could well be with you afterwards. Okay. And Lenka, he's saying, they're not sport. This is not a sport crop. These are your hopes and dreams, and you have made the perfect foundations. Now we need to see the opportunities grow, the opportunities expand. And we do require some energy and some input from others. But what he sees is light on the horizon. As you know, we don't do fortune telling, but he is saying that based on what he can see at the moment, the sun will come up on the horizon as it rises on the east and it starts to germinate. I don't know if it's the right word, germinate. I'm using a posh word there for a dyslexic from South London, but these seeds will grow. Lenka, you say you've done a lot, things haven't happened yet. Okay. So he's saying, let the sun rise in the east. And as it hits the meridian, the middle of the day, you will see these opportunities start to go. Now, he's talking about spring, and I think this was his link back to the seeds. He's talking about the fact that spring will be an exciting time for these seeds. All of the right external factors will come in, and they will help these hopes and dreams start to come to blossom. But you've made a solid foundation. What he's saying to me is that you don't just have to watch and wait till spring. There are some opportunities to develop some new foundations, some existing foundations. And what he's showing me is, again, with this sense of seeds, as if you have like different plantations and allotments. Okay, I've told you you've done everything you need there. Wait for the sun to rise in the east around spring. Once it's set its meridian, the opportunities. Thank you for that confirmation, Lenka. Now go and get some other foundations ready. Get hold of that allotment, that second ground. And he's talking about second product, second opportunity, third piece of land, plantation over there. You've got the seeds over here, closer to home. And then you've got this allotment. And he's talking about you going for this different opportunity, this different arena. And he's talking about a third product there. Okay, Lenka? So he's talking about an exciting time for you. You've got what you've done already. Let spring come. Let the sun take care of that, of this east. And he keeps talking about the sun rising in the east, which is an obvious fact. But he's also linking me back to China. And I feel there's a link here with a product or part of a supply route as part of a product. He's calling them widgets, but you'll know what they are. And he's talking about these links to China being quite important as well. So continue to build those relationships, nurture them, get them working for you. The more widgets they produce for you, the more widgets you can sell, the more money you can make. That was the way he was saying, like a conveyor belt. Lenka, that was your message. Take his love and mine. Thank you very much. Okay, Leslie, got a man, the leggings. Okay. Well, you've got the products. You know what to do, Lenka. Go for it. Leslie, right, I would like to work with you now. Leslie, I've got a man that links in with you. Okay, sorry, just getting some confirmation there from Lenka. Thank you for that verification. Leslie, you'd understand then a father beginning with the letter R. You'd understand the new baby in the summer as well. Okay, as he links in with you, he talks about the fact that, okay, I'm just thinking about what I'm saying because I know I also know you, Leslie. I know bits of it in life, and I'm getting confirmation about things. Okay, the smoke and mirrors, he says. Okay, the magic of life. What you see is not always what's happening. And he's talking about the smoke and mirrors. And he's talking about your ability to see beyond the smoke and mirrors, to see what's going on behind the scenes. And he's talking about the fact that some of what you can see and what you are fathoming out, what you are working out, is absolutely true. And you should trust your instinct on that. However, not everything you are seeing is necessarily part of that trick. The illusion is the illusion. Behind the scenes, you are guessing and you are guesstimating about some of the working parts. Okay, and you'd understand the lung cancer in the top of the chest. Thank you, Leslie, for that confirmation. So he said, don't be worried about the smoke and mirrors. You are smart. You have worked out part of this trick. Now it's time to enjoy the illusion. Work with the illusion. Now, I know this is quite a symbolic and psychic message, Leslie, but what I think he's talking about is he is focusing on what is going on in your life right now, and he's talking about an external influence, as if there are things that are being piped in to you, things that you are seeing, things that you are hearing, and he's saying not all of it is true. Some of it is an illusion. Some of it comes out of propagated fear, but your intuition is a great firewall for this. Use that firewall to separate the truth, and you will then be able to present the truth as if it's your own. Have the opportunity to engage and provoke to get to the truth. Okay, Leslie, that's what he's talking about in that situation. He's also talking about great opportunities for next summer. Okay, so I know that you've just planned your wedding for the summer. He is excited by that, and he feels that it won't need to be rebooked again. This will be the opportunity to bring the right people together. Okay. There is a gentleman that is with him at the moment. It feels like they're meeting up this side. He gives me a bottle of gin with a particular brand on it, begins with the letter G. Leslie, you will understand who that is. And he is just, this is your father still communicating, saying, what a lovely man. I'm meeting him up here and I'm working out more about this. I'm learning more about communication, the spiritual side, but I'm also learning from him about the influence that you two have together and the working together. This is quite excited, but he's in time to put the gin forward, display the label, okay? I think that is more about the name. Have some confidence using the name, okay? That is what your dad is saying there. Leslie, have that love from your father and from me. That was your message. I'm just going to take some water. Thank you. My dad said I can keep the water up here. We've got so much electronics up here now. Those that know me, I'm a big klutz, and I'm worried about causing an electrical fire of some sort. I had one of those big Sports World Direct mugs at home. I don't know if any of you have seen those, but I filled that up full of coffee. It was well charged this morning. And then I knocked it over. Not only did I flood the kitchen, I flooded a small village in Surrey, the amount of liquid that was in this Sports World mug. So, Leslie, thank you for that confirmation. You're saying, oh, wow. Okay. Thank you for the message. You're very welcome, Leslie. Okay. Who have I got here? Okay, I've got a lady here. She's given me the letter S. Samantha, perhaps. Samantha. Okay, this lady, as she communicates, she's talking about family. I am family. I've got family here. My niece. She's talking about my niece. Okay, so don't know if initially someone would understand. Auntie, in the spirit world, the letter S, perhaps Samantha, being important to both of you, significant to both of you. Okay. Those mugs are huge. There they are, Sally. Okay. Lady. This lady has had, hi Jim. Lady has had head and brain trauma. Take that away. This has caused me a headache. It's like my head's in a vice. Take that away, darling. Okay. And if I've had some type of mental and physical health. Sports bottle, thanks June, yeah, sports bottle, that'd be safer for me. I'll start going on to the kids' cups as they go to big boy mugs. Okay, right, this lady then. This lady is family. This lady wants to communicate. She's certainly talking about being an auntie, and I'm possibly linking to a niece. This lady has had a combination of physical and mental health. This has caused head and brain trauma. It's some type of Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, perhaps disease. Could be Sally Rose. It's certainly that letter S is what I was seeing there. But I want that you would understand this communicator as when you don't pass with dementia, Parkinson's. I've got that type of thing that influences me. And for those that know me, know I've had a stroke. I keep being taken over to the right-hand side of the head. I feel this has physically affected me, but I feel that on a mental health level, on a psychological level, I've had problems with my memories. I've had problems with my speech. Possibly even take me to around a growth or a tumour or something up in my head. But this lady is family. She's talking about having a niece. S is important. And I feel I'm approaching an anniversary in December. Okay, Rosie, you think you might know. Christine Davis says, my auntie died of something to do with the brain. Okay, thank you, Christine Davis and Rose. Let me get more confirmation. Christine, let me know if the other things made sense as well. Okay, my guy says I'm with you, Rosie. Rosie, as I link in with you then, yes, okay, had a stroke. You'd understand that then, that this has then affected me afterwards. I feel that I have died as a result of having a stroke, but it has been life-limiting before life-threatening. Sally Worker says, my mum had dementia and strokes before she passed. My daughter is Samantha, still here. Okay, Sally, I might have a split link as well. I'm with Rosie at the moment, but Sally Worker, you go on to standby, and there was someone else as well. Her niece's daughter is Samantha. Okay, so I've got lots of communicators queuing up. I felt like I was just swamped almost by spirit there as they surrounded me. Everyone quite excited to communicate. Her niece is my daughter, who is Samantha. That's Christine Davis. So Christine and Sally, I might be with you next. Rosie, as I'm with you, this lady was agreeing you are the queen of cards, and she's saying that, okay, that's nice, some confirmation from me. I've always said that spirit aren't fussy. They'll work with absolutely anyone that wants to work in the love and light in an uplifting way. But she's talking about you in particular, Rosie, with your cards. It is not just a medium. It is a gift, an inherited gift, the ability to work with the energy and the cards in the way you do. Now, obviously, you know that, and I've known you all my life, so I know that. But what she is saying to me is the significance around that and the fact that she's saying, just as you were getting ready to retire, boom, there are some great opportunities for you now. More teaching, please, Rosie. More teaching, please. Time to show people the different way of doing this, of working with that energy, because she taught you the cards. There we go. I didn't know that. Thank you, Rosie, for that verification. And she's saying, wow, this is really exciting opportunity to teach a new generation of working with the cards, because not just in the traditional way of understanding tarot, but working with that energy. She's saying, Rosie, that is a strength, that is a talent with you, something that I know that you are proud about, but you've not been as proud of it at the moment. So we just want to come along and say, don't forget that this is a real strength. You're very talented with this, and you have the ability to teach in the same way you inherited this and we taught you, because you give so much value by delivering the messages and the mediumship and by reading the cards for people. But we want to inspire now a new generation. Now, Rosie, I know a little bit about your circumstances. I said I've been lucky enough to have had you in all my life. You're almost like a surrogate mother in many ways, and certainly a honourable member of the family. You want to go back to teaching. Lovely. Great verification for me. She is saying, good, go for it. This is going to be really important opportunity for you. Ash, thanks. She's roping me in. I've got to help you. I'm going to help you connect. We want to relaunch some workshops, including some remote workshops here in the new year. We've got the opportunity to do some of that over Zoom. And one of the things I didn't mention earlier on, but of course, Rich, you've got the VIPs, the patrons. You can become a patron of Spiritual Psychic TV. And there is also an online and remote teaching academy. Now, I can see the two of those coming together, because here at Wimbledon Spiritualist Church, we have over 100 years of spiritualism being celebrated from Richard Arthur Bush. And we were talking about Mr. Bush and Richard Bush's lyceum, an old school spiritualist lyceum. Now, this is quite important to me because I spoke about my boys. Both of my boys are involved in Catholic school, and they are baptised both Catholic on Claire and the Irish side of the family, as well as spiritualist. And they're talking about this lyceum and you being a big teaching head and part of that, Rosie. So I'm being roped in as well. They're excited for you. Great confirmations. I didn't know you wanted to get back into teaching. You said both and Lynn on here. Okay, lovely. Thank you, Rosie. That was your message. Thank you for working with me. Now, I had Sally and I had Christine. Rich, if you're able to bring up their comments, that would be appreciated. Okay, Sally, you'd understand a mum, dementia, strokes before she passed. Your daughter is Samantha. I feel that that was the double S. You're Sally. This is Samantha. Okay, your mum. And you'd understand them. The dementia was limiting my life and my impact, but she's talking about it being like a broken jigsaw, Sally. She's saying that I felt like 4 or 5 chapters of my life, if they were jigsaws, all the boxes had been merged together, and I was constantly looking for the right piece of the jigsaw, she said, because I laterally jumped. You'd understand that. She said, I laterally jumped between different chapters of my life. It was as if my timeline, my time scale had been messed up. And she's talking about the fact that it was a relief for her, that most of the time she wasn't aware, but she's talking about the impact this had on the people around her. So it made me upset. And I felt upset when I got things wrong. And there was an element I want to thank you for, Sally, because there was an element she's saying, she's using the word entertaining, but you entertained me by sometimes going out of your way just to make sure that I wasn't upset by it, that you just sort of, she's saying, played along. You played along. Life just disappeared in a matter of months. Okay, you understand that. That's where she's talking about this aggression. She's talking about the fact that my mind, my body, my psychological, my head, my brain, all of it, the mental and physical health just started to come together. It was really difficult for me to really understand the last chapters of my life and to focus on the now. And she's just talking about the fact that it was a combination of this mental and physical health. And ultimately, when my body had given up, it was the end of that. And get that strange feedback again. I don't know where that's coming from. Yeah, no, I'm not sure where it is. Okay. Sorry if you got that strange feedback there. I don't know if you picked it up your end as well, Richard. It was almost like someone trying to talk on EVP. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Nice. Yeah, it'd be nice if we got a bit of a electronic voice phenomenon over Skype. That'd be quite cool. But it was almost as if she was trying to jump on board and say something there. Okay, Sally, thank you for your confirmation. Your mum wants to send you her love. Thank you, she's saying, darling. Thank you, darling, for what you did for me by enabling me and by keeping me of worrying too much. She's saying that life was a bit of a mess. And when I passed over to this side, she said, I needed a break. Although I didn't have a physical body anymore, psychologically, this had affected my mental health to such a point that I needed it to all be unraveled. I couldn't really understand what had happened. And there was a period of time in heaven, in the spirit world, where I needed to almost be, she's saying, reprogrammed. And as I communicate now, in love, in light, I'm pure energy. She said, it's my personality. But you have to understand that there was a big fusion. My physical body, my mental health, my spiritual self, all of that had kind of infused together. And she said, I just feel great release now, great relief in it, having it all unraveled as I communicate to you now, and I come back at my best, with my best memories and my best life. Sally, she's particularly excited for Samantha at the moment. She was mentioning Samantha at the beginning of this message, wasn't it? Yes, I did try to find things to keep her mind occupied. Thank you. Okay, great for you to verify that, Sally. That's appreciated. Samantha, it feels like there's some exciting opportunities here. I'm overwhelmed, she says. I'm overwhelmed with the amount that Samantha has taken on board. It feels like from an investment or even education point of view, it's been quite overwhelming, and I've been pulled in different ways. But Sally, you have invested into her. No, not invested. She's invested into herself, and you've enabled, Sally. That's what she's saying. You've enabled Samantha to progress. And this has been really important for her. And I feel quite excited because it feels like her appetite for learning is huge. And she's taking on and absorbing lots of new things, and that you've very much been at the helm, steering her. Now, I know during lockdown, lots of us have become amateur teachers and amateur hairdressers and barbers and other bits and pieces. But she's just talking about the fact that you have really had a steer on this, and you've inspired her, she wants to say, to learn and invest in herself slightly different. And I feel that education-wise and professional, this is sort of linked. This is quite nice. This is an education and investment opportunity around a profession here at some point too. Okay, Sally? So I want to get it off your chest. Okay. She's just saying, you need to get it off your chest, darling. Don't hang on to it. You need to talk about this. Talk to me. I'm listening. She's saying, talk to me. Get it off your chest. I feel like you really need to be listened to, actively listened to. She said, it's not a natural skill. Samantha is a very good childminder. Okay. You need to be listened to, Sally, and you need the opportunity to have a bit of a natter and a bit of a moan. For there's someone that's been irritating you, irritating you. Get it off your mind. Talk to me, darling. I'm listening, she said. I'm listening. I'm here for you. She sends you both her love, and there's love from me. Sally, that was your message. Thank you very much. And Richard, if you can bring up that other comment from Christine. There was a lover lady here. Feels like the Mothers Club. This lady is certainly a knitter, and she works with her hands. Christine, I do think I'd be with you. You got an auntie died of something to do with the brain. Would you understand this creativity? And I've got this nervous energy that I can find I can resolve by doing a bit of sewing or fiddling with my hands. And I feel this is very much with you, Christine, as well as auntie. But Christine, as I link in with you, and so these ladies have shared in common some of their past conditions. And as they've passed into the spirit world, they've kind of met up in this waiting room, I call waiting room in heaven, and they've spoke about that, which is why they've all come through and burst together. But Christine, she's talking about wanting to occupy your hands. It feels like I've got this nervous energy that has just been contained. It's almost like I've got cabin fever with you, and I need to get my hands moving. I need to start fiddling and tweaking and doing a bit more. I've got creativity bursting from my fingertips with you, Christine, and hopefully you would understand that. As your auntie communicates then with me. Breathing, okay. I want to slow the breathing down. So I don't, unlike the previous communicator was talking about psychologically getting something off your chest, I feel like I need a good cough, Christine. I need to get something. This has affected my breathing, and the temperature, the outside temperature, the inside temperature, this is irritable. This is irritable to my chest. So, Christine, hopefully this is making sense to you. Your auntie says it does, but yeah, give us verification if you can. I want you to be in charge again. I feel like you should be conducting, and I want you to be in charge with your creativity. You're trying to knit a blanket at the moment. Okay, good. She's talking about putting that creativity and that energy to good. There are people waiting to follow you, Christine, which is why you need to conduct. You need to tell them what to do and where to get in there. It feels that this is going to be a combination of some tough love, because you telling people when to come in, when to be quiet and when to do, it feels like it is a necessary need, but not necessarily what people want to hear. But do it. You're saying, yes, it does make sense. Thank you for that, Christine. Be the conductor, be in charge. You have the ability to give this tough love, to tell people what to do, when to do it, and when not to. I think that's an important part of you conducting, is telling people when to button it, when to keep their mouth shut, to avoid hurt, to avoid harm. Feels like you've had to resolve a little bit of conflict in this situation, Christine, and she's just giving you the strength and the courage to get through this, because you have it. I'm topping you up, she says. You're in charge. I want you to be in charge. I'm putting the conductors know what it's called. Is it a rod? Probably not a rod. Someone like Phil Shaw, no doubt, would know from his theatre days. But yeah, I want to put you in charge, and you are in charge, my dear. She says, you are in charge. Sorry? Director? The Director of Ceremonies. We're going to promote you to Director of Ceremonies, Christine. Maybe it's an officer's staff, but she said it make sense. And you're saying your auntie would have said that. Okay, well, thank you very much, Christine, for the confirmation. Have her love and mine. That was your message. Thank you very much. Okay. There's definitely baton. Thanks, Phil. Baton. The baton of conductor. Okay. I know that Julie Caswell is online, and I know, Julie, you would be interested in this electronic voice phenomenon. There has been some stuff that's been invested in behind the scenes, including a decibel reader at the church, and I joked with the engineer that we're about to do some paranormal investigation here. But I've got this man that's communicating with me that is claiming to be your father, Julie. Christine, you're very welcome. Thank you, darling. This man is claiming, Julie Caswell, this man is claiming to be your father. He's adopting a fighting stance and bringing up some hands, and he's fast. He's got a very, very fast jab and a very straight and powerful cross strike. As he links in with me, he's talking about the kit. He's like, yeah, get here. Let's do a paranormal investigation. It feels like he is its spirit side of a paranormal investigation team. Now, Julie, I know that you're involved in that sort of stuff. You work as a medium for Spirit World in very different ways, and you also use technology, Frank's Box, Spirit Board, things like that. He's saying, yeah, once it's safe, come to the church, lights off, and I'm going to come and I'm going to try and use this. The microphones around the church now, people wouldn't have seen this yet, but Kieran Edmonds has done a brilliant job of installing some crowd mics as well as some shotgun mics, and we can do some decibel reading. And they're talking about them getting used to the kit and the technology as well, Julie. He's talking about being excited by that. He's talking about doing something in the new year. So watch this space on Spiritual Psychic TV. Richard, you've been doing some things out of hours in your studio with the infrared cameras as well. So perhaps we'll have a night of interpreting energy and patterns and signs and stuff as well. So watch that out for the YouTube. It's usually after about 10 o'clock, I think, Richard, the paranormal stuff you've done with the infrared cameras. Okay, so that'll be from 8 o'clock tonight. And in the new year, we'll bring Julie down to the church as well. We'll do some paranormal investigation here. Julie, the reason he was adopting in this boxing stance, he feels like you need to get your feet moving. And he's sort of dancing up on the stage. Stage, it's a platform, isn't it? I'm calling it stage, but he likes the stage. He likes the limelight, and he's up here and he's sort of jabbing around. He wants to get your feet moving. He feels that your feet are firmly planted where they are, and he is just trying to provoke you a little bit. Learning about sound. Okay, great confirmation there, Julie. Thank you for that. And he wants to get you moving again and get you moving in the right direction. He says, don't get too comfortable where you are. You are needed elsewhere. You need to be able to continue to promote the truths of what the knowledge you understand. Okay, so you're a great ambassador for this sort of stuff. He says, I need to get you moving again. I need to get you moving again. And it's not going to be easy, but you know what? If you come into conflict, you've got me. And he's got this lovely fast jab and this sort of Strauss cross. And he's dancing light-footed. That's what he wants on this platform. He wants you to be light-footed, and he wants you to be able to duck and dive out of the way. Very true. Being lazy at the moment, says Julie. Thank you for that confirmation. Your dad is there, and unless you want to go toe-to-toe with him, he's encouraging you to get up and do a bit more, because there are things for you to do, and you need to add value above and beyond what you've done. He's saying, don't just be an armchair warrior. Come onto the platform with me, and we'll have a bit of fun. Do a flower dance, says Mary. That's funny. Okay, Julie, so that was your father communicating. He sends you his love. He's really enjoying the bits and pieces you're doing online as well, and he is thrilled. He uses the word thrilled. I am thrilled by the opportunities to do things differently. I want to try and give you some physical phenomena, some physical evidence for you to measure the changes in energy. As we are energy, we communicate with energy. We will help you use the equipment in order to monitor that and measure those changes. Thank you, Julie. That was your message. Okay. I've got a lady and a man communicating who I believe are husband and wife because they're holding hands, they're pointing me towards their wedding and finger. Terry says, lovely messages communicated this morning. Thank you, Terry. That's lovely of you to say. Julie, you're welcome. Okay, this is mum and dad. I've got two lovely characters here that are claiming to be mum and dad. We are holding hands, we are wedding ring fingers, and we have a wedding anniversary around middle of March that we have celebrated up here. I want to go to around the 17th of March, but middle of March is an anniversary. So I'm looking for someone that would understand mum and dad, in heaven, this wedding anniversary around the 17th of March. And links to, I think it's Hayling Island as opposed to the Isle of Wight, but I've got links to the south coast around Portsmouth, Hayling Island, the Isle of Wight. I can sort of see it all on a map. And there is a retreat I know of down at Sire Warren? And I keep seeing that on the map as if I've got these links in retreat down to Hayling Island. So I'm looking for someone that would understand mum and dad in the spirit world. You would, not too long, 2.5, 3 years gap between us passing, reunited spirit side. Your mum's talking to, I feel I've got a lady here. I feel like I've got my daughter. Dad's up here. You know that dad passed with a heart attack, and I like to say I passed with broken heart because I missed him. And then I did die of heart-related problems. She's making relations to that. So someone would understand mum and dad in the spirit world. Friends. Maybe it's friends in Hayling Island. Friends down at Hayling Island, around that Portsmouth. See that Portsmouth ferry over to Isle of Wight as well. I feel like I love being down on the south coast, or I've been down there. Michelle says the service has really lifted her spirits today. Thank you, Michelle Rod Knight. That's lovely feedback. Okay, who wants to take mum and dad home with them? Because they're here right now communicating. Thumbs up from Phil Shaw. Thank you, Phil. Mum and dad. Okay, I'm looking for someone to understand mum and dad in the spirit world. Davidson. I feel like I've got a family name they're trying to give me there. No, they're singing. Is that Star Wars? Okay. I've got someone. Someone would understand links to the dark side of the Force, the resistance of the Jedi. No, I've got this Star Wars theme tune which is being sort of hummed. I feel like I've got a man as dad here that enjoys sort of humming and not quite so much singing. Okay, so Sarah Vale says, Nan and Grandad, Portsmouth, and you understand Doyle. That could be the door. I don't know if the Star Wars this just then is humour, or you would understand that this humming. And I feel, sorry? Yeah. Anticipation, perhaps. Maybe it's the anticipation music of filling the sound. Sarah, that's my Sarah. Nan and Grandad. Okay. My Sarah. Okay, right, that's our Sarah. Sarah Val, I would like to communicate with you. Okay, you understand these links then down to the south coast. I feel like the Star Wars music, because I'm a Star Wars fan, perhaps then was this anticipation. My dad was just picking up on that as well. He's safely at 2 meters distance from me, but he's also part of my childcare bubble. So we're okay. We're not breaking any rules live on YouTube. Okay. I am, and waiting in anticipation for you, Sarah. Anticipation for what? Feels like I'm waiting for something to be done. And I don't know if I've got a legal document or a contract of some sorts. And we are anticipating some resolution, some change, some end of this situation, start of this new situation. Okay, Sarah, you understand Nan and Grand, you understand Doyle, Granny Doyle, just heard there, Granny Doyle. There's that weird feedback again, keeps coming. Apologies for that if you're having some audio problems now. It happens every now and then. I feel like there's definitely people trying to tap out a message. Okay, Sarah, as I link in with you then, Nan and Grandad, they wait in anticipation with you because this feels good. It feels like there's going to be some resolution to this. It feels that we're going to sign on the dotted line, and this will be a good thing. We wait in anticipation with you. We know that everything that you have done has put everything in order for this to be achieved. And Sarah, we are excited for that. It feels like this has been waited for a while, and it has been delayed by the current circumstances of the world and the universe that's going on right now. Sarah, as Nan and Grandad link in, they talk about enjoying that breeze, and I feel that this was something to enjoy together. We enjoyed our space, and what we wanted it slightly warmer, and as soon as we got to heaven, we kind of had the house we wanted, the seaside cottage we wanted, a little bit warmer, and it was lovely. It was exactly what we needed until we realized that we didn't need it at all, and then we were without body. But heaven was exactly what we needed it to be when we wanted it to be. So Sarah, yeah, got your thumb right on it. Something about some nerves from sucking a thumb or biting a thumbnail. She's talking about, I feel like I've got, you are our granddaughter, but I feel like I've got a great granddaughter as well, and I'm biting my nail. It's just nerves. I feel like there's been some nervousness and some anxiety with her or around her at this moment, and we want to say that it's going to be okay, and that they are tuned in. Okay, I know that you're tuned in right now to YouTube, but there's something about your mind's eye, Sarah. You're becoming more aware and them being quite interested in this psychic and spiritual development and awakening on your side, Sarah. You're becoming more intrigued with how the universe works, and as you become more intrigued, you become inspired in making your own mind up about this. And they're saying that this is good, this is intriguing us, and we are drawn particularly close to you at the moment. Feels good. Feel like I'm going to be able to take a big gasp and sigh of relief with you, Sarah, in this situation. And it's like, yeah, now we can get on the horse, we can ride off. Okay, definitely there's a big division here of end of chapter, end of conflict, resolution, sign on the dotted line, new chapter. No, not new chapter, new book, a new start, a fresh start, and this becoming up quite soon. Okay, I've got something to look forward to in January. My granddad Rick's birthday was the 4th of January, and I've asked that's something around that similar today. Sarah said, I asked for my other nan to come through, but I said, actually, I would like any of us sign. Okay. Well, your nan and granddad have come through, Sarah. And I feel like you're talking about your mum and your dad's parents and sort of being reunited up here. We were family, and I've shown that wedding ring. We're talking about being connected up here, but we have got in-laws via in-laws, and we've got these opportunities. So your other nan is not communicating, but she's fine. She's up here at the moment. She's the one that is more regularly communicating with you, as she is more attuned via you, via your mind's eye, Sarah. Nan and Granddad that are communicating now. I don't know if this is Dad's side they're talking about. They're communicating via me, but you are aware of them. You're more aware, quite attuned to your other nan, Mum's mum. I've hopefully got that the right way around, the way they're showing me on the family tree, and a great-granddaughter. Lots of good things to happen. Let's get this new book. You're asking for the inspiration. Trust your mind's eye. Trust the opportunities. The signs that we are going to continue to give you will be that of inspiring you to write. You are writing. We're wanting you to write more. We're going to inspire some of the answers. Write your question out. Let us automatically inspire you. This is your mum's mum talking now about inspiring you through some type of channeling, automatic writing, trusting your inspiration. Write out the question in full, then write the answer. Write it naturally. Don't wait too long for an interpretation. Just start to write the answer, Sarah, and there will be some signs there for you around this new book and this new chapter. And I think it was all the writing they were talking about. I've also got you typing and I've got you typing, word processor, lots of words, something like that. I can see all the buttons and the mouse and the keyboard, and it feels like getting you to break away from that. I've got the mundane of the routine. I want creativity. I want a blank page, a new blank page, and this new fresh start, new opportunities ahead. And this feels really quite exciting for you. So Sarah, your nan and granddad communicating. I think it was your dad's parents and your mum's mum that just came in there towards the end, talking about being intrigued by your understanding of this universe, and your mind's eye attuning with you and influencing your writing. So Sarah, take all of their love from the spirit world. That was your message. And folks, I've now come to time. Thank you so much for working with me. It's always lovely to have an empty church, but a full congregation on live chat on YouTube. And I have to keep remembering we've got a second camera now, so whenever I hold a strange teapot pose, you get that glimpse as well. Folks, I've been Ashley Robinson. I've been your medium today. Thank you very much. Daddy Matlock.
Thank you very much, Ashley. It's been a very proud moment for me today sharing this platform. And it was in his early teens, Ashley informed his mum and dad he was not going to follow us into the church, ever. He was going to be a carpenter at that time. But he's taking up the shepherd's crook. He's going to start training for the ministry quite soon. So once all the lockdown's done, he'll be doing that. A strange thing, Ashley don't know this, but my phone literally just vibrated and I opened it up and there was a picture of my dad just after the last static bit came up. So I'm hopefully, if that's you, Dad, do it again. We'd be really pleased. I hope you've enjoyed this morning's service. Next Sunday, it's Ivan Lee, and Ivan will be doing prayers and the address as well. And I hope you've enjoyed this morning. And most of all, much as I thank my Ashley, I'd like to thank Richard James at Spiritual Psychics TV. He does a wonderful job being our producer and produces so many other shows on Spiritual Psychics TV. Please join in. Please be part of this great movement of ours. Wherever you come from within spiritualism, it's great to be part of a larger group of people. And as I said earlier, there is no death. But we're all aching and hurting at the moment with perhaps loss of loved ones to the spirit world. Well, I shouldn't say loss, because they're not lost, but the loss of loved ones. And it does hurt. It does feel. I know how anxiety I felt last night when Rachel got took into hospital. But I'm pleased to say the joy of heart I've got at the moment, because Rachel's now out of hospital and on our way home, which is proof of the medical profession and the spiritual profession working together, getting her home. It's now just trying to encourage her to rest and relax. So we're going to try and do that as a family and her friends as well. Thank you for this morning, and thank you all, physical and virtual congregation, and I hope you've enjoyed it. So next week it's Ivan Lee, and it'll be unusual for Ivan because he'll be doing the full service. So I'll just be doing the reading and saying a few prayers, or my Jackie will be. And I'm now going to ask Ashley to close our meeting with prayer.
Friends, please join me as we close in prayer. Mother, Father God, recognize that we do not all recognize you and know you by the same names or labels, but we recognize your divine presence, the spark of the universe. We recognize that you as God represent the sum particle of everything we come to recognize as love, light, truth, and energy. Thank you for helping our loved ones and our friends come forward today to give evidence of their life after death. Thank you for sharing the truths of spiritualism with me and our friends and congregation. May you watch over our congregation. Virtual they may be, they need your love and protection. May they stay safe and well fed and watered, security above their homes. May you help the people of this church, the volunteers, the ministers and the team. May you inspire them to do their best possible duty with this church, ever mindful of the obligations to keep the lights on and the roof over the church, to keep this live stream service up and running, to communicate and engage with you, the wonderful community. Thank you, O Mother, Father God, as we all part in peace and harmony. Amen. Richard, would you like us to do any adverts? Okay, I'm just going to bring a couple of adverts, folks, as we finish. But do continue to like, subscribe this channel, share the feed. If you didn't do that earlier on, you can now share it afterwards. Copy this link. This video will be available. So, what are you doing today at 2:30 p.m? Join us on the Sunday sofa with free live readings on youtube.com/spiritualpsychicstv. That's the Sunday sofa with the ladies, free readings at 2:30 today. Late night, live from the studio. Paranormal investigations using infrared cameras and microphones. Let's see what spirits can do as they communicate and influence us. That's late night from the studio tonight from 8 p.m. on Spiritual Psychic TV. A wonderful opportunity of trance demonstration with Polly Harnett and Leda Chabe. Sunday the 6th of December from 7:30 p.m. Now, non-patrons can get entry to this for £10 and Spiritual Psychics TV patrons £8 and our angel members £5. Find out more information on paypal.me/SPTV live. That's trance demonstration Sunday the 6th of December. Oh, yes. So at the end of the month, we're doing our first Zoom experimented evening of mediumship and transfiguration. That is Friday, the 27th of November. All the details are on our Facebook page at Wimbledon Spirit or our Eventbrite page. And that's experimental mediumship and transfiguration with Phil Shaw and I on Friday, the 27th of November. Thank you, Richard, for the opportunity to give that a plug as well. And thank you, folks. We've come towards the end of the service, and I've loved being here with you today. Thank you for joining this virtual congregation. I'll give closing words to Dad. Thank you.
Thank you all, friends. Looking forward to seeing you back here at Wimbledon Church, hopefully in the very near future. We've got our Zoom service via Eventbrite if you wish to buy a ticket. And any queries, please just text us and we will try and sort that out. And all being well, we hope to welcome you back into Wimbledon Spiritualist Church in the next couple of weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, never forget that the power of the Spirit is infinite. It goes everywhere and anywhere. And when we seek its power and assistance, we are never let down. Go forth, all of you, unto the world, preach the knowledge and truth and gospel of spiritualism, of continuing life and of healing by the gifts of the Spirit. Good afternoon, friends. God bless you until we meet again. Bye-bye.